I told jokes about every race, class, ethnicity that you could imagine. Because if I'm only telling jokes about a specific group, then yeah, the people can go, well, that's problematic.
Yeah.
But I left nobody out of bounds for the sake of proving that anything can be a joke.
Yeah.
Like a Jewish joke?
Yes,
Yeah.
like a Jewish joke, like a white joke, like a Christian joke, like a Hindu joke.
Nothing off limits.
Everybody can be joked about,
Yeah.
and if you can take jokes, it proves that you are comfortable in your own skin.
This is going to be a super fun show. You're going to like this show. I intentionally didn't debrief you so much because, love this topic. We have Braeden Sorbo. He is a victim of Chinese cancellation.
Whoa.
TikTok superstar influencer with a huge following and growing like crazy. Great content, super funny. Made the wrong joke, really small, got the attention of the authorities at ByteDance and I'm sure the Chinese government, and went from that to like close to nothing.
Yeah.
Shadowbanned him like crazy. Great to have you on our show, Braeden.
Well, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah. So let's
Now I see why you were hiding. You were hiding him.
Yeah, this is
from
gonna be a
me.
really, really interesting show. We haven't had a guest like you before, and it's really, really cool. So let's give it a little background. You're from an acting family, and it's even more interesting than what I just said because he's second generation cancel victim.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so tell us a little about your family and your family background.
Yeah, so I think third generation Norwegian and second generation cancel, so I'm not sure what exactly balance that makes me. But I come from a family of actors. My dad is Kevin Sorbo. He played Hercules on TV and a bunch of other things. And so when I was born in 2001, and growing up, the first 7 or 8 years of my life, I lived on Hollywood sets, going to these big, extravagant productions and seeing both sides of the camera, and I fell in love with acting. And I remember around the time I turned 8-ish, my dad got canceled from Hollywood. And so because of his conservative and Christian stance and viewpoints on being pro-life and wanting America first, free speech, and the values that inherently define this country, Hollywood decided that they didn't want to work with him anymore. And so I went from going on these crazy sets and falling in love with the movie industry to realizing at such a young age how dangerous and volatile it can be.
Wow.
And
How
so,
bad did it get for the family? I mean, he was out of work. Like, was it like a light switch?
No, so he suffered 3 strokes during filming Hercules, which not a lot of people know about, and he wrote 2 books on it. And so he was always doing public speaking. And basically the second Hollywood said, we're done with you, the independent film industry said, please come work with us. And so he immediately, it was like a switch. Things didn't get bad per se, they just changed. And so I went from seeing, like I said, the extravagant lights and action, the red carpet, to these little independent movies that they're filming with a couple $1 million. And a lot of people watching this will hear that and go, $2 million is a lot of money, but not to Hollywood.
That's the whole budget.
That's the whole budget.
Yeah.
To Hollywood, $5 million is catering.
Yeah.
Right? Pirates of the Caribbean is a $300 million movie that they spend another $100 million in P&A. Wow. And so for an independent film to raise $2 to $5 million is so hard, and it's barely enough to squeak something by. And I remember watching that, but still being in love with the Hollywood world. And so I decided when I was 11 that I wanted to be an actor myself. And my parents tried to talk me out of it just because clearly they didn't like the world themselves. But I eventually whittled them down and they signed me up for acting classes. And I got my first movie at 14 years old, a movie called Let There Be Light, which was an independent film. It was a drama. It's a fantastic movie. And I remember that was sort of where everything sunk in.
Was it religious based?
It was, yes. It was like family-friendly, Christian, and drama, everything.
Feature film?
Feature film, yes.
Okay.
So it was in theaters. We opened second to Thor Ragnarok.
Wow.
Dollar for dollar per screen average. And so we did exceedingly well with it. But when you have so little money to promote a film, the word of mouth is all that you can hope to achieve its success with. And so the independent film movies really took off with, do you guys remember God's Not Dead? It's like a $2 million budget. It made $140 million worldwide.
Wow.
So it is top 5 of all time movies in Hollywood grossing dollar for dollar. And so that was what kind of catapulted the independent film scene
that movie.
into, because of its success. It proved that you don't have to have a $500 million Hollywood movie with a star-speckled cast that is riddled for success that's going to guarantee that you're going to be profitable. It proves that you can make something even with a small budget and still have success to a degree. And so that gave me hope that the Hollywood world, my dream essentially, wasn't inherently gone, because when
your dad. I know your dad.
Yeah.
And your mom.
Yes.
Oh my God, I've met them a few times at
Yeah.
Mar-a-Lago. Yeah, you know them.
Here's a question for you. Who's writing your story? You or some random dude on the internet? If you're sick of Google, gossip blogs, or that one angry ex controlling how the world sees you, it's time to do something about it. Erase.com helps you take back your narrative by removing harmful content, outdated info, and straight-up lies from search engines. Your past shouldn't be a permanent headline. Erase.com gives you the reset button that the internet forgot to include. So don't let the web define you. Go to erase.com, use code ERASED for 10% off, and start owning your story today. Links in the description. Click it. Your future self will thank you.
Remind me what your mom does.
She does public school speaking. She is a homeschool advocate. So she writes books, travels the nation,
that's where I
talking
met
about
her.
alternative schooling methods.
Yeah.
Because we have a school.
Yes,
Public school,
yes,
exactly, yes.
Remind me your mom's name.
Sam.
Yes, Sam. That's so funny.
I just dropped her off at the airport before I came down here.
Did you tell her you were coming to see me? Did she tell you she knows me?
I didn't
God.
tell her who I was going to see.
Oh my goodness.
So once I do,
know
once
your
I do.
parents. That's so awesome. They're so cool.
Right? I like to think so.
You have really cool parents.
Thank you. Yeah, so I grew up on that side of witnessing how cancel culture can affect somebody firsthand. And so I took it upon myself to realize that and to learn how to best navigate the kind of waves. Because whether it be politics, religion, or entertainment, there are always going to be stigmas, and there are always going to be aggressors, there's going to be prey and predators, and people will be saying things that are wrong, saying things that are right, and being attacked the same. And so I learned from a very young age that the best way to deal with the cancel culture in the world is to not back down, is to refuse to withdraw.
Yeah.
And so when I started my social media, I was a senior in high school, I was 18 years old, and I said, you know what, I want to do TikTok, but I don't want to dance shirtless or lip sync videos. Like, I'm straight, I'm just not into all that stuff. And so I started telling jokes, politically incorrect, dark comedy, things like that, because the biggest attack in our culture overall has been an attack on comedy and masculinity, which is what I wrote a book about. I'll shout it out right now. It's called Embrace Masculinity.
It's like Embrace Masculinity. It's a new book.
Yes, it just came out last month, so it's called Embrace Masculinity, Lifting Men Up in a World That Pushes Them Down. It's essentially
Do you have a
guide.
website where it's on?
Sorbo Studios.
Okay.
Yes.
SorboStudios.com.
Yes,
Right?
and so
Okay.
that book was sort of the catalyst for me.
How old are you?
23. So this is
Oh
my
God,
second book.
You're so young, and I love it. Your parents must be so proud of you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, so I've been blessed to do 11 movies to date and 2 books at 23 years old. So I'm very lucky with
High
everything.
five.
This is your second book?
This is my second book.
What was
yes.
the first book?
Called the BS Braeden Sorbo Guide to Politics. It's a sarcastic political dictionary, once again, in that joke vein.
Oh my
and so
goodness.
trying to bring humor to the political sphere, as dark
Yes.
as it may be.
Uh-huh.
But the Embrace Masculinity book was my most serious project to date. And it really stands as a testament to my foundation of truth, right? Because inherently, in every individual, man or woman, there is truth. We know, right or wrong, whether or not the people watching this are religious. Paul writes in Romans 1 that the law is written on the hearts of man. So we have an inherent idea that murder is wrong, that we shouldn't just go around stabbing people for fun. That's not a good thing, right? So we know the differences fundamentally of good and bad. And so the book aims to explore that and lift people up so that they feel confident defending that. Because what we see in this world today is morality has become flexible and morality has become subjective. What I might think is wrong, you will say is right. And then it becomes a battle of, well, this is my opinion and this is my opinion and no one can tell anyone differently. And so in dealing with that and in starting my social media, telling jokes, I realized that inherently truth and the freedom of expression that we have had in this country has been taken for granted, and because of it, it has slowly been eroded away over decades and decades. I mean, we were talking before the show how in the 70s, they started pushing this narrative of, well, men, get in touch with your feelings, and then the men did, and they were ridiculed for it. They said, we want a sensitive man, and so the man opened up, and they said, you're a loser, you're a fragile, weak victim, you're like,
right.
you're useless, and then they told the women, act like men, and then the women looked to the worst possible examples of men and said, I'm gonna be the aggressive, overbearing bad guy, and so we've destroyed fundamentally the values that have defined what it means to be American, what it means to live in this country. And so growing up watching all of this, I realized that something had to be done. And we have a lot of great voices
Yeah.
in this country. We have plenty of amazing people who are taking a stand, who are making a fight, who've been canceled. You look at Riley Gaines, the swimmer. You look
Yeah.
at Charlie Kirk with Turning Point. Like
Charlie will be here on Friday.
yes,
actually.
that's why it was perfect,
Yeah.
perfect window because you mentioned. So you look at these people, but you don't have someone in Gen Z. You don't have someone under the age of 25. And that is why I decided I've already been canceled a few times, which we'll talk about more.
Yeah.
I've already grown up in this world. Why not me? If I can survive 1 or 2 cancellations, I can
Yeah.
survive them all.
We've survived
Yeah.
3.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm on track to surpass you, hopefully.
Look, it's
2
on.
so far.
It's on.
We got a competition
Yeah.
here.
Well, we got you, so
That's true.
he didn't have a chance.
As I overheard
Screwed.
him telling you while he didn't think I was listening that I'm the big mouth of the guy.
Only in the best way.
Fine.
Yeah.
I accept it.
Okay.
So,
So you
sorry.
started this TikTok. TikTok was your primary. Did you do the others as well, or you just focused on TikTok?
So I started TikTok primarily. I wanted to grow the others, but being as you know, I don't do the shirtless content and I don't do all that stuff, the thirst trap.
I do shirtless
people
content.
see
He
that's
does.
For our followers.
This is what I need.
Follow
This is
me
where the
on
second half of
Instagram,
the show.
David
Yeah.
_Centner for all my shirtless content.
Well, see, I do the gym stuff
It's
now.
actually true.
Yeah, I do the
Hey,
gym
wait,
stuff
wait, You
now.
plugged your Instagram. I'll plug mine. And if you want to follow me on my Instagram, Leila Centner, I don't do shirtless content.
Yeah,
It's
but
That's good.
But you might want to bring a
boring,
pillow
but
because
still
you're probably
fun.
going to get a little sleepy. So
It's true. It's,
Yeah, so
Very simple.
I do the fitness content now, but I started with just comedy and I started mainly on TikTok. Now, growing up in the Hollywood family, I decided I wanted to prove to myself because you hear claims of nepotism and all of this your entire life. And so I decided I'm going to start my TikTok without anything other than my first name. And so it was Braeden, maybe Braeden S. for until I hit about 500,000 followers. And once I reached that milestone, I went, okay, time to develop my brand. I've proven I can do it myself. And so at this point, people can say whatever they want to me, but I've established my own name separate from my parents with the hopes of growing even bigger than they ever did. And that is where I stand now. I've expanded to other platforms. I have a show called BS with Braeden Sorbo where I do YouTube commentary content, stuff like that, very short form podcast-esque videos. I have Instagram where I do fitness content. That's where my shirtless stuff is.
That's where the shirtless
You know,
is.
exactly. The son of Hercules. I'm a quarter demigod, I think, is how that works.
Yes, you
if
kind
we do
of
the math.
have to, yes.
But
And your mom's pretty amazing too.
yes, she is. But that expansion really helped me kind of narrow down and hone in on exactly what my message was. And so now I have this message of lifting people up with traditional virtues and values.
let's go to the
Well,
cancel.
yeah, that's what I want. I want
Yeah.
to go to the first
TikTok.
cancellation.
Yeah.
Explain what
TikTok,
happened.
grow. You're figuring it
What did
out.
you even say?
You're figuring out your voice. You're figuring out your
was it?
voice, and it's growing, and you're probably refining and tinkering as you go along, and everything's working, and it got really big. How big did it get?
So I want to say that I was almost to 1 million followers. I was at about 900,000 followers at the time of my first cancellation. And this was maybe 2020 during the Hong Kong riots when China was sort of oppressing Hong Kong and they had the people fighting the rooftop Koreans and the people in Hong Kong fighting against the CCP. And I remember doing a joke because all my jokes were less than 60 seconds. I would sit down, I'd set my phone up and I would talk to the camera, I would tell a joke, and then I would end the video. That was it. But people loved it. My third ever video blew up. Because I loved the public
Do you
speaking.
remember that joke on the third video?
Oh my gosh, I wish
find it so we can play
I
it.
wish I did. It's
B-roll.
so far back. Yeah, get it in
Maybe if you
B-roll.
can find it, send it to us and we'll put it up.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sounds
do that,
good. Yeah. So I remember I would tell all these jokes, and my third ever video blew up because my first video had 10 views. My second video had 100. I was going 100 views are pretty good. Second video 30,000 views in an hour. I went
That's awesome.
And then from that point on, I would average roughly 100,000 to 500,000 views on every video.
Wow.
One video a day for the next 6 months to a year.
Wow.
And by the time and gaining 500,000 followers a month. So by the time I was almost to 1 million followers, the Hong Kong riots were going on and I told jokes about everything. I told jokes about every race, class, ethnicity that you could imagine. Because if I'm only telling jokes about a specific group, then yeah, the people can go, well, that's problematic.
Yeah.
But I left nobody out of bounds for the sake of proving that anything can be a joke.
Yeah.
Like a Jewish joke.
Yes,
Yeah.
like a Jewish joke, like a white joke, like
Yeah.
a Christian
Yeah.
joke, like a Hindu joke.
Nothing off limits.
Everybody can be joked about,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
if you can take jokes, it proves that you are comfortable in your own skin.
Yeah.
That's my whole premise, is jokes are good because they define us, they
Yeah.
refine us, and they strengthen us.
Yeah.
And so I can look at someone make a joke about me being tall. You don't know how many times I've heard, how's the weather up there?
Yeah.
You would think that eventually it would get annoying, or you can come up with a funny response back, right?
Yeah.
That is what you get to decide is your reaction to what
Yeah.
someone else says to you,
100%.
right? And so I told jokes about everything, and then I finally told the joke about Hong Kong, and I said, I have a buddy in Hong Kong, and I asked him what he thinks about what China's doing with the protests and the government overreach and all that. He goes, he can't complain.
That is kind of funny.
That was it. It took. It wasn't
That's
even
so short.
It wasn't
so,
even
the shortest joke ever.
It's not even
Yeah.
like a stellar joke. It's
Yeah.
not even something that you put on Joe Rogan or whatever.
It's like a
I don't know,
dad
big
joke,
comedian.
even.
It's a dad joke.
Yeah.
Right? 2 minutes. That video was up before it got taken down. 2 minutes.
Wow.
It got 30,000 views. I remember because I stay on for the first couple minutes just refreshing to make sure everything's working properly.
Wow.
It got up to 30,000 views in 2 minutes and bow, down. Every video I posted
Pulled off.
after that,
Pulled
pulled
off.
off. Like deleted. Community guidelines violation for hate speech. I told jokes about everything else, anything else. Not one hate speech violation because I wasn't hateful with my jokes. People could tell that I wasn't being serious. They just understood that what I was saying was funny. That was it.
Wow.
There was no deeper meaning other than ha ha ha. Move on to the next
Do you
video.
think it was a computer that heard the joke and
AI, right?
Or well, I mean, they have millions of people that sit in rooms
do.
listening to content.
It depends because when you get to a point where you have hundreds of thousands of followers, you're watched and held under a microscope because there's more eyes on you. So if you're an account with 10 followers, they might get to what you post, but it's going to take them a while because your account doesn't really matter. But if you have 1 million followers,
And just for our audience,
had 1 million at this point.
TikTok is owned by a company called ByteDance, which is a China-based company.
Yes.
And in China, all the tech companies have a seat at the table, at the very least, by the Chinese government.
Yes.
If not actually owning a majority of the company.
Yeah.
So
TikTok
very-
sucks.
very Chinese, very Chinese.
very, very heavy Chinese
Yeah.
government
Yeah.
precedence is set. And so my account was under scrutiny just because it was a larger account, so everything I said was held under a microscope. I just had a great fan base that loved what I was posting so that I wouldn't have to worry about being taken down immediately, or at
Yeah.
least right away without. I'd had a couple violations. I'd been on live streams where I made some jokes or said an algorithmic trigger word, and so they would pause my live stream, ban me for a week, stuff like that. But nothing to the point where what followed, which I think your audience will find interesting, is I went from averaging 100 to 500,000 views per video within 24 hours of posting. So I'd post a day later, go back, 500,000 views.
Wow.
I gained 10,000 followers.
Huge.
And were you making money at this point?
I was making a little bit of money. Not much because they hadn't fully established their ads system. They were still relatively new. We have to remember summer 2019 was arguably the best year for TikTok growth in terms of freedom.
Yeah.
And it was that summer of 2019 where TikTok and ByteDance and the CCP realized, oh, hold on. This app's going to be the biggest app in the world. We need to lock it down. And that's when everything started to switch. So you can ask a lot of the creators who've been around for a long time. They will all tell you that summer 2019 was the best years of TikTok because you had the most freedom of expression because there were no restrictions because advertisers hadn't come on the platform yet. The government hadn't started overreaching yet. And so you had all of this lovely freedom that we took for granted. And so after I posted that video, taken down within a few minutes, community guidelines violation for hate speech, every video I posted after that for the next 6 months, 6 to 8 months, wouldn't pass like 15,000 views.
Wow.
It was a full block. I maybe had 1 or 2 videos squeak by because I was super careful about how I worded something and would comment under it. Everyone, please help me share this video to get it back up, like that kind of thing. But I could not surpass 50,000 views even. Wow. And so I was so done with TikTok. I'd grown this amazing account. I was ecstatic about it. This was my next big thing. I was like, I finally found what I want to do with my life. I can use this to bolster a speaking career or Hollywood because they'll hire people with large social media presences. And then it stopped. And I was sitting there going, what the hell am I doing?
What kind of emotions were going through you at the time?
Oh, despair. I was just done. I was defeated. Sadness, yeah. I was defeated. I was done. I had nothing else. I mean, I'd been putting, ironically, not a lot of time into it. 1 video a day is really not that hard, especially when you sit, record, post, and then close your phone and do something else. But I'd gotten accustomed to it. And growing up, I'm the oldest of 3. And so I am the stereotypical oldest child, where I am the the extrovert, the guy who loves hosting people. I mean, when I was 9 years old, I would have play dates set up that I would organize myself. And the parents would come to the house to drop their kid off, see my mom, and go, oh my gosh, I never talked to you. Is this okay? Did you know we were doing this? And she would go, yeah, Braeden told me, but I was that kid. I was the extrovert. Didn't matter where we went, I would make friends. I'd be 4 years old, sitting on the front porch, eating grapes, waving and talking to passerbys, right? So to lose such a significant outreach and to lose the attention really impacted.
Took your voice.
It was exactly.
Yeah, and it was like, almost like your show. It was your show.
It was
Your show.
an extension of me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so losing that impacted my ego because I hadn't fully gotten comfortable with who I was as a person yet. And so this being an extension of me.
That was almost like your persona.
It
right?
was. Well, it wasn't even a persona because it was me.
Yeah.
And so being told that I was inherently wrong and that everything that I did was bad from that point forward had an impact on me because I took it seriously.
They put you in TikTok jail.
Yeah, well, I took it personally
Yeah.
because I wasn't putting up filters. I wasn't putting up these walls. My audience got me.
Yeah.
They got to see Braeden Sorbo unfiltered.
Yeah.
And when Braeden Sorbo unfiltered was rejected, Braeden was rejected. And I'm sitting there at 19 years old going, what did I do wrong?
Wow.
All I was trying to do was make people laugh. And so I remember there came a point, this is maybe a year after that initial Shadowband.
Did you cry?
I don't cry much.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll try right here. I don't cry much. I don't know what it is.
Would that be helpful if one of us starts
Yeah,
crying
we could all
first?
start crying together. Ironically, I can cry better in movies than I can in real life.
I have an onion over here.
It's perfect.
Cue the onion fumes, please.
Someone get some sad
Onion
music going,
fumes,
please.
send it
Get the
over.
rain. No, I remember I was just pissed off. I was sad. I was
Anger.
upset. Yeah, just a little bit of everything, all the
Yeah.
emotions.
Yeah.
And I remember sitting
Embarrassment.
in my room, almost, but at the same time knowing I did nothing wrong.
But did you know?
More-
I mean, you were banned by communists.
Well,
Did
what
you
else?
That's gotta
make
at least
the
make you feel
connection?
better. There's some silver
Right?
lining.
Yes.
You make the connection
It
that a
wa-
bunch of communists banned you?
Eventually, but once
Okay,
again,
you
I
didn't think
was
about
still a
it.
kid.
Okay.
I'm still thinking about being rejected personally,
Okay.
rather than you know what I mean? It's like
That you're-
going up and
yeah.
talking to a girl at a bar and she rejects you, and later you find out she's a serial killer. It's like, oh well, that rejection was a good thing. You know what I mean?
good analogy.
But in the moment,
Yeah,
you're
that's
what did I do wrong? Why did I get rejected?
That's right.
And then you find out she stole someone's kidney later. And you're
Yeah,
like, oh thank God it wasn't me.
Or the Rolex.
Exactly. And so I remember I was sitting in my room and I was contemplating quitting just because there was no point, right? No views. I wasn't making any money. They still hadn't implemented the full ad revenue system,
Yeah.
but there was no way I was going to make anything with the little views that I had.
Yeah.
So I was going, I'm just going to do something else. I don't need to be doing this anymore. And I remember I don't go on Instagram very much and look at my DM requests, but I decided I would just go check it out. So I go onto Instagram, I open up my message request, and at the very top is a message from this kid, maybe 14 years old, 15. And he goes, hey Braeden, I just want to let you know I'm a freshman in high school and I get bullied a lot. And coming home to your videos every day makes me happy. I was heavily contemplating suicide.
Wow.
And your videos make me laugh, and it tells me that there isn't just bad in the world. So thank you for what you do.
Wow.
And just that one person was enough for me to go, okay, this is important.
That's awesome.
This is why I do it.
Wow.
And it gave me an entirely new purpose.
That was from God, by the way.
Yes. It was no longer
That's how it
about
works.
what I can do to get approval from other people. Right? It was about how I can make other people laugh and how I can make other people think. Because when we stop thinking for ourselves and when we stop laughing,
Yeah.
we lose everything.
I mean,
Yeah.
everybody on the show has been through a cancellation journey, and everybody sort of arrives at the same place, that there's a reason it all went terribly sideways, and the depths that we have to go through in order to find our mission and purpose. So you got really low,
Well,
and
can
how?
I ask a question?
Yeah, go
Sorry,
for
sorry,
it.
sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So at that time, how many followers did you have on Instagram?
Couple thousand. Instagram wasn't transferring from TikTok.
Okay. So did you decide to start back over, or did you decide to focus on Instagram? Where did you go from there?
So I kept going on TikTok.
On
I didn't
TikTok.
stop posting.
Even though you were getting a lot less views, you're like, I don't care if 15,000, if I can impact one, I'm doing God's work.
Yes, and because of that, because of the consistency and slow iterations with new content and testing out different things, trying, hold new avenues and all that stuff, my content eventually started to pick back up. I had a couple joke videos still blow up years later, but now, you know, the content is significantly better than it used to be. It's still not back to what it was, but then again, TikTok itself is oversaturated with the amount of content creators.
Yeah.
And the videos that I used to post wouldn't perform well today, just because of how quickly the market changes.
Yeah.
You know, we always ask our guests the same question if they could do it all over again. Would you post that Hong Kong joke again on TikTok?
Knowing what I know, I think the lesson itself was incredibly valuable, and I would also say that there might have been other ways that I could have learned it. Maybe I would, I don't know, because I wouldn't back down from speaking truth. That's the thing, is I wouldn't change the truth to fit someone else's narrative. The truth is unchangeable. I'm sorry, it's objective. Take it up with God. It's not my problem.
But the joke is just I wouldn't say it's just a joke, but I think I would not post it again. It's like, why? For what purpose?
Yeah, going back, I think I would be cautious about how I handled it, but I would still try to bring jokes about the situation, because I try to make jokes about whatever's trending.
Would you make jokes about China?
I don't see why not. Right? Like,
I'm not suggesting that you.
Yeah, no, of course. But I don't see why we should be giving certain countries like special permission to avoid a joke. We're not going out and saying like, I hate you and I hope your whole country blows up. We're like, we're not doing that.
It's a joke.
But everybody knows
that's just it.
China is communism. They don't even hide it.
There's no freedom. Exactly.
We're
There's
not
no
calling
freedom.
them like a name. That's what they're communists.
Yeah. Would I make a joke about Americans being overweight? Inherently, we are overweight. Without a doubt. Would I make a joke about the Brits having bad teeth? Sure. Why not? Right? It's just a joke. There are plenty of British people that I know who don't have bad teeth, and they would laugh because they realize that it's not a direct attack on them.
Yeah, exactly. It's all the tea.
Exactly. It's
So what was your second one? You said that
There's another one?
You've already been canceled twice, right? That was
a
the
little
first
bit,
one.
yes. The
What
first.
was the second one?
So the second one's been significantly less drastic, just because I've learned how to handle it better.
Yeah.
And so the second one was when I switched up my content again. At the beginning of 2024, January, I launched a show called BS with Braeden Sorbo, which was my political commentary stuff, and that's when I switched more from the world
podcast?
of more from the world of comedy into the world of politics and commentary, and bringing humor to that, as opposed to bringing everything out of it. And
Like a JP Sears kind of thing?
sure, that'd be one way to put it. Yeah. Just sort of the Gen Z perspective, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but not skits.
Well, he does commentary as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
but not the skits
His
part, because I'm pretty
commentary's
sure
pretty
it is good. I don't do the skits as well as him, so I wouldn't try. He's funnier than I am. But I remember I launched the show and I changed up my content on TikTok and Instagram so drastically that the algorithm did not like it. And so this was almost a self-imposed shadow jail ban, where my views significantly just nosedived. But learning from the previous mistakes and not wanting to deal with, okay, I'm not going to look at the mental of it. I'm not going to get caught up in the, whatever. I kept posting the political stuff. The cancellation came from the reaction. Turns out a lot of my followers disagree on a moral level with me. And so I receive...
Wait, elaborate on that a little bit. What does that mean?
A lot of followers of mine were following for comedy and also still very liberal in their ideologies. And so I would make a post about abortion, and I would receive death threats for it.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so my cancellation didn't come from being put in shadow jail, TikTok bans. My cancellation came from people saying that they wanted me to die, to be the next Lake and Riley, to be the next X, Y, and Z. Like full-on death threats saying, how dare you say this, that, or the other thing, like you're going to get what's coming to you, that kind of thing.
So you were first shadow banned by the government. The second shadow ban was by people who were following you.
Yes, a rejection of my initial audience. And I've since found a new audience.
We had some of that. So when we went through our cancellation journey, where she was outspoken at the school, our phone blew up with people who had the most horrible things to say, and we had to keep swapping out the lady who answered the phone because it was just too emotional.
She couldn't handle it anymore. I'm like, toughen up. Just a bunch of
sending things in the mail that were graphic and horrible.
Very graphic.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. I've lost friendships over this.
How? Tell us about that.
People have, to put nicely, people have just unfollowed me. They've removed me. And then in other ways, they've messaged me and said, I can't believe that this is what you hold to. How did I ever like you as a person to begin with? And I go, it's not that deep. But if it is to you, it shows where your problems lie.
I just wish we could be more tolerant of a society. You know, if somebody wants to hold a different perspective or belief, it doesn't impact me or my family. You know, it's fine. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
That's just it.
I mean, we had family members that
we've lost family members.
You know, cut us off because of our stance on vaccines and so forth or whatever. And it's like, listen, why do you think we have to agree?
There is, the reason that they think that is because it is essentially decades and decades of slow planning and implementation by the government. And so people are purposefully being divided for the sake of disharmony. Because when you're unified, when people get together and are combined collectively, countries, communities, cities, everything is built. Right? If you don't have unity, you can't build anything yourself. And so people become heavily reliant and dependent on a system that tells them what to do, where to do it, and how to do it. And so when you have people who are willing to think for themselves and say things that are countercultural, they end up suffering the repercussions for it. In my book, I touch on the fact that we create a society of weakness because weakness breeds compliance. The weaker you are physically, the less likely you are to think rationally or for yourself because you want to avoid confrontation.
150%.
Scientific direct, like people can argue with it day and night, but it doesn't change the hardened science. The truth behind it is the fact that we have created a society of people who are compliant because they are not strong enough to stand on their own. And so when I tell people that, it makes me unpopular. And yet, that's what I've decided to do.
I bet if you look back at the earliest days of America, there's probably a whole bunch of super outspoken, opinionated people, you know, and which would served us well.
Yes.
But bring us to present day, they become sheeple. You know, we're much easier to control if everybody is kind of scared to speak up. That's sort of like where this show came from. This show gives people a voice. You know, we felt we didn't have a voice. You went from TikTok to you didn't have any other social media pretty much. So that's the purpose of the show, to give people an opportunity to come and tell their story, you know? It's really important.
So how many people started to unfollow you?
I would
was it
say
just like a massive unfollowing?
So it was a mass exodus. I wouldn't be able to give you a specific number, 100,000, 200,000. It was a large number of people. Yes. A majority of my followers though were pretty already, you know, on that right side because the jokes that I was saying were not necessarily appropriate or politically correct, so they already had that kind of instilled in them. And so when I switched on my content, it was just because of the mass reporting from former followers or people just on the page that TikTok refused to push the video anywhere. So my actual followers wouldn't see it, that kind of thing. And it came down to...
I won't be surprised if they purposely pushed it to the people that they know are not aligned with you.
Oh yeah, I've talked to a couple...
They're very smart.
They are. I've talked to a couple other people in the same spheres as me online. Not necessarily the same content, but everyone recently has even seen a dip in their viewership. There's something going around for whatever reason on social media, specifically Instagram, where a lot of commentary accounts, political accounts, meme accounts even that just make jokes are getting hit. And there was a mass ban that just happened to a lot of people. Some of them are my friends. Simply for making jokes, making memes, making comments.
And Zuckerberg said he wasn't going to do that.
Yes, and now everyone is sort of seeing that. Okay, well,
but he is doing it because he's a liar.
Well, maybe he didn't do it. That's his get out of jail. Well, I didn't press the button, but someone else went over here. I just closed my eyes and did this. But yeah, so we've witnessed in real time, you know, wave after wave of attack and attack and attack. I mean,
so did this one hit you as hard as the first one? Like, did you feel that one in your heart? Because it's one thing to be, you know, like I took it as a lot of pride when the government tried to ban me. You know, I'm like, you know, the government is that interested in me? Great.
She's wired.
You know, I'm like, let's go, let's do this.
Yes.
You know, Chucky, redheaded Chucky was talking to me on the press secretary. You know who that is, right?
Sucky.
I call her redheaded Chucky.
Redheaded Chucky's hilarious.
And you know, I was like, that's kind of cool. So it's kind of cool you got banned by China.
Yes.
But when you get
not a lot of
people
can say that.
Right.
Right.
But when you get
now I
banned
need
by
America.
But when you get banned by your peers, like, did that one hurt you more?
Your friends.
Or at that point were you like...
Ironically, no, because Hollywood relationships are very transactional, and so people aren't necessarily friends with each other. They're just acquaintances because they can get something from you. And so when a lot of those Hollywood or social media friendships ended, I was almost expecting it to a degree, because I was going, you are in this world, there's a very strong chance that I'm different than you in my viewpoint, and when you find that out, you're going to hate me, and I've witnessed that already with my dad losing his friends, and so it prepared me. So it didn't hit me nearly as hard, because originally, ego. I loved the attention, I wanted it, I lost it, I went, what the heck? This time, I still like the attention, I still like being able to be that voice, be that person, be that speaker. But losing it wasn't necessarily a shock. It was, all right, this is to be expected. We know how this works now. Losing those quote-unquote friendships meant that they weren't really friends to begin with, in which case, all right, see you later. You know, I wish you nothing but the best. I know you wouldn't say the same to me, but I'm going to take the high road and walk away. And so there wasn't necessarily nearly as much of an impact, which I'm grateful for. But now I just need to be canceled by America, because that is how you become more prominent and get a show and everything. Like this is,
well, if you're canceled by America, we'll bring you back.
All right, fantastic.
But we're still going to be one up. We'll find something else to be canceled for, so we're ahead of you.
Okay, dang it.
We need to be one ahead of you at all times.
You know, it's an interesting world we live in, all these social media platforms, that we feel like an inherent right to free speech on them because we're Americans, but we don't really, and they do control the message. And when we've seen in the last administration, actually the government started to interfere as well with what these platforms, you know, who they would have a say in the matter as well, which is super uncool. You know, with the what are those files? The X files or whatever it was.
Twitter files.
Yeah, the Twitter files.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but we don't really, at the end of the day, have a right. They can be like, hey, it's our platform. We will dictate the content that's on there. We will change the rules at any time we want. You know, we want Erase to be super successful on YouTube, but we know there's certain things, certain topics that we can't talk about, and we abide by that for the most part. You know, and if we do have something that we talk about, we know we have to edit it out. We already got a strike on us already.
Wow.
Yeah, already. We're a relatively new podcast. We got a strike on us, and we had to do massive biopsies of large chunks of content, and it took like an hour and something video down to like 40 minutes. We lost like half an hour of that particular episode, just so we can abide by the terms.
It is communism.
And it was the robots that were watching in the show itself.
We live in a communist country, but we do.
Yeah, in a way, we don't really have free speech.
No, we don't. Well, we had the first chapter of the book, Embrace Masculinity, on sorbostudios.com, is called The America Your Parents Knew Is Dead.
Is what is it?
Is dead. The America Your Parents Knew Is Dead.
Okay.
And so there are, I just saw a stat that the average age for a home buyer in 1980 was 31 years old. You know the average age for a home buyer in America today?
No.
60.
Wow.
Yeah.
60.
Yeah.
The American dream, this idea of this capitalist paradise where you go and you have, you work hard, you get a job, you go to school, you find a wife, you settle down, you have kids, and you support your family on a milkman's salary, doesn't exist anymore. Yeah. We don't live in a capitalist society anymore. We live in a corporate society. And what corporatism does, what this oligarchical system does, is it monopolizes industries where it becomes incredibly difficult for people to break out on their own. Yeah. It becomes exceedingly harder and harder for people, especially in my age. And my age range is realizing that. That is why you have this mass shift in political ideologies from specifically Gen Z. I mean, Gen Z is the farthest right that any generation has ever experienced, like ever.
Furthest from the right?
Farthest to the right.
Oh, really?
Yes. Specifically the young men and the young women are following suit.
Thanks to Turning Point in no small way as well.
It's big, like these big people-led, not corporation-led movements, these grassroots movements that are kind of paving the way and allowing people to think for themselves. So Turning Point had the millennials, and I feel like after millennials is Gen Z. So Turning Point had all the millennials, and they started getting the Gen Z, and then the Gen Zers came along and were like, so we could do this even at a bigger scale. Yeah. So let's go. You look at the Turning Point events, they have 12,000 attendance. Yeah. Right? That's insane, or attendees. That's insane. Yeah. And so it's showing this cultural shift. Yeah. And day by day, people are coming to truth because they're being told not to. Yeah. They're being told what to think.
It's backfired. Yeah. The messaging is backfired.
Exactly. Yeah. And so we were talking earlier about the $20 million project they're trying to launch called SAM, Speaking to the American Man. And they've hired an obese queer Mexican woman to speak to Gen Z men. And I'm going, that is probably the worst person you could have picked. Just say, I don't think if anyone knows men, she would. I would assume you would want to pick a guy, but who do they have? David Hogg, Harry Sisson, like they have these guys who aren't really masculine.
Yeah, David Hogg, the Democratic Party.
He just got removed.
Did he?
He just got removed from the DNC co-chair.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, but they're trying to do this, and if you look through what they currently have proposed, now nothing's passed yet, nothing's in action, they haven't done it yet, but what they're currently proposing is essentially just astroturfing Reddit, which is just kind of bombarding it with messaging politically, saying, come to the left, we're friendly, we love you, and all this.
Yeah.
But they've spent the past 3 decades telling men that they suck, that they're replaceable, that they're expendable, that they're idiots, and that they hate them for being manly, and now they're going, well, we actually like you now.
Yeah. Wink, wink.
As if that works. It's like the Steve Buscemi clip of him walking through a high school. He goes, how do you do, fellow kids? And it's like, all right, you're clearly an undercover cop. You know what I mean? It's like there's no one's falling for this. And so you have this kind of, ironically, a cancellation of the left by Gen Z.
Yeah.
Because we've seen what happened to the generations before us. We saw what happened to you, to my parents, to Charlie Kirk, to Turning Point as a whole, to Riley Gaines. So all of these other people, all of these, Jordan Peterson, his first start was cancellation, right?
We should have David Hogg on the show.
Hey, you know what? He just got canceled from the DNC. It would work.
Right?
Huh?
Would you?
Be a good episode. Be a good episode.
Man, don't want to give that guy airtime.
Fair. But yeah, so you have effectively a cancellation from Gen Zers towards the left.
So cancellation is still going on as you see it. Because some people think that with this new administration we're going to see less of it. Cancellation is over. We don't think so.
No.
We think people are just waiting they're ravenous.
Well, like you just said, Instagram. Instagram is literally
doing a blockade
right now.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah,
so
and we have a ding already on our show. Yeah. It's still happening.
And I think that with AI, because it sounds like the way you just you said you uploaded it and it takes a second and then boom, it spits out to you. So it's AI is basically
a lot of AI going
censoring.
on. AI is the robots are here. You know, we talk about this future where the robots are controlling everything. It's here now.
No, it's terrifying.
This robot has read. Has watched the show, the episode.
Yes.
In
2 seconds.
Summarized it, deduced it, figured out the parts that it didn't like.
Yeah.
Wrote back with the strike, told us exactly where the content that it didn't like.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, no, it's
crazy. No human intervention.
Terrifying.
It's kind of like the Terminator.
It's really weird.
It is. Well, it's the Terminator in the sense that if you've seen the new AI videos of people, they're making AI videos that are people talking. On it. Yeah. And they're looking more and more realistic. Yeah. 2 years ago.
On Instagram, there's some super hot, not that I follow them, but I've heard, I've read articles.
Do you want?
Is that okay?
Do you want this shovel? You just keep digging. I'll just.
Exactly.
Can I follow a hot AI? Is that's acceptable? No.
I don't know.
You don't know. You're not sure about.
I'm conflicted.
well, it does add a moral dilemma, though. You have people on both sides, right and left, saying, "Well, AI porn is okay because no one's being hurt," and they're using it to justify child pornography as long as it's AI generated. There was Matt Fradd as another podcast host called Pints with Aquinas, and he was interviewing Dennis Prager, and Dennis Prager went on a rant about how, well, it's AI porn, so no one's being hurt, so it doesn't matter the age of the people in it, and so you have people on the left and the right.
Dennis Prager advocated.
Dennis Prager, yes, it's a whole clip online.
Surprising.
It's insane. I know, disappointing, very disappointing. But I'm seeing it from both sides where people are all for AI. Cancel him and then have him on. There you go.
Ooh,
there you go.
That's our business model.
Frankly,
we figured it out. If we can create cancellations and just have them, come into our loving arms.
Exactly.
We feel so bad for you. That's good.
And they're explaining the whole story, and you're sitting there knowing, well, we orchestrated it. But this AI thing is effectively going to cancel any sort of video proof in courtrooms now because everything's fabricatable. You can make anything with AI, so it's only going to be eyewitness testimony again. So we are essentially screwing ourselves over as a society. You said Terminator. This is how Terminator started. I'm like, we have enough movies about this to know it's bad. Why do we keep doing it?
I keep thinking about that AI robot. We joke and be like, it would be cool to have an AI robot. And then I'm like,
a humanoid. She wants a humanoid.
And then I'm like, I'm not sure that's going to be a good idea because I'm sure I'll piss off this robot, and next thing you know, its hands are around my neck.
Yeah.
Ex machina.
You know what I mean? And that's it. It's over. You won't be stronger than a robot.
No.
Because they develop these personalities.
With 2 fingers, they could squeeze your little neck.
Yeah. So maybe not a good idea.
Yeah.
There's movies about it, too. So we know what happens with AI robots, and they're making it normal. And ironically, when we make AI robots, we're going to effectively ruin the dating market. We're gonna
it's
Wait, hold
crazy.
on. Ruin the dating market. Why? You think that they're
the dating market's already ruined with mass pornography. The dating market's already been destroyed.
People are going to marry robots?
Yes. We have effectively canceled masculinity nationwide. Young men don't approach women. 45% of 18 to 25-year-olds have never approached a woman in real life. 45%.
What do they do?
They go home and watch porn because the girl on the screen's not going to reject them. They can pay a girl on OnlyFans $100 a minute or $200 or whatever for an hour to get that girl to say and do the things they want, but in person, they risk rejection.
Wow.
They're taught online through all of this messaging that if they're in the gym and they look up while they're in the middle of after they finish a set and they happen to glimpse in the direction of a girl with a tripod cancellation, 500,000 people immediately attacking him in the comments. Where's he live? Someone get this pervert out of this gym, ban him.
Yes.
So guys, don't talk to girls at gyms. They go, this is just not worth it. Girls will tell their horror stories about dating a guy who approached them at a bar and it's like, it's the worst thing ever and this is why you never approach a guy at a bar. And so guys are watching that and subjectively they're subconsciously learning to not approach at bars. They're learning not to approach.
Is this all in your book?
Yes.
Wow.
So I talk about all of these things.
What's your book again?
Embrace masculinity.
SorboStudios.com. SorboStudios.com. Embrace masculinity.
There's this subconscious cancelization of everything that we once thought we knew. And so young men are not approaching people anymore. Young women are pissed off about it because they would love to. There's plenty of young girls I know who want to get married, but unfortunately the market has been so saturated with pornography that it's made people unable to form bonds with each other. They can't connect. And then even if they want to connect, they're too afraid to try.
Jeez, I never thought about that.
Sad. And I just realized while we're sitting here, we think about this future where the robots are controlling everything, but this actually may be the step to make that happen, where the AI decides who they want to cancel, creates the content, puts it out there, and knows exactly what's going to happen, how the masses are going to react and take people down like that. That could happen today.
You can make an AI video of someone online saying the N-word, and that person's career is ruined. Done. And how does that person prove that it wasn't them? It's clearly them in the video. When AI gets to the point where it's indistinguishable, we are in trouble.
Even when it's proven that it wasn't, the damage is so bad that there's no coverage of the aftermath that actually was fake. That happened to Alan Dershowitz.
It did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens all the time with sexual assault allegations. The lacrosse players from Duke. Remember, the prostitute accused 5 lacrosse players from Duke. They immediately lost their scholarship. They went through like a year of trials. The lacrosse player eventually said, or the prostitute came out and said, all right, I made it up. It's too late. Their lives were ruined. They can't do anything anymore. So what you said is perfect, because they're going to make a video. Someone will make a video of someone saying something or doing something.
I want to take somebody down.
They'll post it.
Yeah.
And then by the time that damage control has been spread out and we've, kind of netted the fire, everything's burned already.
And the other part of it is the person who is being damaged doesn't get a voice.
Yes.
They can't even say, that wasn't me, I never did that. Because the media doesn't let you speak.
Yes. No, they don't. Because if you are deemed as, I don't know what trigger was, a Yahtzee, right? If the media calls you a Yahtzee, you're not going to get a platform. They're not going to bring
What's
on.
What's a Yahtzee?
No. It's replace Y with an N. I don't know if you could say that on YouTube.
Okay, I understand.
It's like Germany,
Yahtzee.
1940s.
Got it.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Like if you're called a Yahtzee or HH Youth or whatever, who's going to have you on?
Yeah.
They're not going to risk platforming someone who's a murdering supporter or whatever. They wouldn't do that. So the second you are designated as something that is below subhuman, you can't do anything.
It sort of happened to us because we were, before our controversy, we were Miami's most philanthropic power couple.
Really?
Yeah, only good things. Only good things. Doing good things for humanity and the world, but took a different position on the you know what's during COVID and and that's next the narrative changed completely and we were like vilified online.
Well, we've seen people
Super
who
vilified.
were
These
good
people
at
are
heart.
nasty. People are nasty.
Yeah, and you see people who are good at heart, like you said, philanthropic. You have people who have charities, who do good things, who are beloved by their community, and they come out with one stance that the left or the media decides, no, that person's life ruined.
Yeah.
Right? That or attacked at the very least.
But I could totally see a future where it's way worse because now you've got a whole AI engine behind it.
Oh my gosh.
Basically drumming up the drama, creating fake news.
You showed me a video that one of our friends made for her mom, And it was so realistic. It even sounded like her, and it certainly looked like her, but it wasn't her.
It wasn't her voice. She just AI'd a voice over her.
Her image, I guess, and then it three-dimensionalized it.
And then she took. Yeah. But it looked like it was her.
First generation. I'm sure it's just only going to get better.
And I'm sure
that's the thing, is it will only improve. Yeah. I mean, it's been 2 years since we started getting AI videos, and they're indistinguishable from real people now to certain people. Like you take someone who's a little bit older, like a grandparents' generation, the whatever was above boomers, Gen Alpha.
Baby boomers?
Baby boomers, maybe the greatest generation, the silent generation, something like that. They're not going to be able to tell. Someone sends them a video of someone that looks like their granddaughter going, "Grandpa, I need help. I'm stuck here. Can you please send me money?"
Oh, wow.
Her mother to this day thinks that video was actually real, and she was there even at the moment when it was made.
Yeah, but that's the thing. And with it only getting better, you have people, I mean, I've seen videos where someone will go, which one's real or AI? And they'll be holding two things. They'll have like a mug and another mug in their hand. And then this mug will fade out and it's just this mug. And you couldn't tell which one was real or AI. So it's only getting better. And that's scary. Cancellation is going to become mainstream.
The point is AI is going to be the future. Cancellation has not gone away, and AI is only going to make it worse. You heard it here. That's our prediction, right?
What can we do about it? How can we stop it? How do you stop this train? Or is it
Well, the people who are creating the AI don't want to stop because it's innovation.
Yeah.
Right? If you throttle freedom of expression, if you throttle the innovation behind it, then people are less likely to want to innovate, because the last time someone did, he got in trouble for it, and then you're canceling someone for doing it anyway, like preemptively. It's like it's like the morality question: is a preemptive strike in war morally justified?
Right.
And so you have to look at a case-by-case designation, because yes, sometimes it is, and no, sometimes it isn't. You know, say you have a bad guy who's going to put a bunch of beagle puppies in a cage and let flies eat them. You might want to stop him before he does that. Mm-hmm. You know, he has a track record of doing that. You might want to maybe prevent that from happening. But you have someone who hasn't done anything yet. Are you really morally justified to put a stop to it, even if you know what they're going to do? And it brings in this.
How do we stop the Terminator?
How did they do it in the movie? They threw him in a lava pit, right? That's what it was. It was like a machine pressed lava pit or something, hydraulic.
Start building a lava pit.
Every house.
Oh no, another project.
Every house has to have a lava pool now.
Yeah. And then we have to monetize it also, because we don't actually need it for who knows, maybe decades. Yeah. Another one. See now we have to do another project.
You get a tax write-off.
We could investors. We could crowdsource. Anybody wants to get involved in this one? We're going to crowdsource investment into our lava pit.
Not a bad idea. Okay, well.
So where do things stand now? Things are on the up and up. Are you acting?
Yes, so I'm doing a little bit of acting. My latest movie is called I Feel Fine. It's streaming on Amazon and Paramount. It's a heavy drama. It deals with suicide, mental awareness, health, things like that.
What do you play?
I play the supporting lead. I play one of the character's best friends. And I'm not necessarily a nice guy. I will preface it. I had so much fun playing that role, though. It was so great. We filmed it in Buchanan, West Virginia, a town of like 5,000 people, maybe. Wow. 3,000 of which are at the local college there, so there's nobody there. And the only restaurant in town was like a Buffalo Wild Wings. It's hilarious.
Kind of fun.
Miserable eating that every single day, we'll say. Can't go back. But it was a great movie. It's been up for numerous awards. It's streaming now, like I said. And so next up in the pipeline, not sure. Still auditioning, still going around, but doing a lot of public speaking. I'm flying out actually right after this recording, going to Virginia, speaking at Liberty University.
You know, I believe your initial vision of growing this social media platform, which will then be the vehicle for getting roles, well-paying roles, I think that is still intact. Mm-hmm. Even though they canceled the crap out of you, I really believe in that. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
You know, that you were very clear on your intentions. You took a stand. You never ever backed down, and you doubled down on your vision at the end of the day. And I really think it's going to turn out great. I see a very bright future for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And to any viewers who might be seeing, themselves struggling with even minor cancellation, let that be a lesson, right? Don't back down to what you know is inherently true.
Every single guest has said the same message. Fight, fight, fight. Every single one of them has said the same thing. Yeah. You know, and some people were hardwired that way, and anything to the contrary was never even an option. Some people had to go through a process, a journey to get to that point. But it's worth it. You have to do it not just for yourself, but you have to set an example for others. Because if you don't, then it's just going to embolden the other side, and they're just going to keep going at it more and more and more. And we cannot allow that to happen.
No, we can't. And right? That's proof.
And you utilize, talk to God, pray, meditate, do whatever you need to do to help you get through that. Because once you get through it and you get to the other side you feel so much stronger.
You're better for it.
And you're better for it.
Mm-hmm. That's the truth.
And at the end of the day, like, I feel like we're here in this world. Why not make a difference and do something special with it?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of, playing Switzerland and being totally neutral all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. So as you know, this show is about being erased. And we are here to allow people to use their voice to share their side of the story, because people don't get to share their side of the story. So how did you enjoy being on
what did you think of this show?
I thought it was great. It was nice to be able to just sort of let loose, speak my mind. I mean, it's not that I don't already speak my mind, but it was nice to be able to go in depth on the cancellation and sort of how it affected me and obviously my family around me, and then how I overcame it. And I hope that it stands as a testimony to other people that they can go through similar things and come out stronger and better because of it.
Do you feel a little teary-eyed at all in any way?
Me, when I was talking about the kid who was struggling with depression, that's when I get the most emotional.
Made me emotional for that too. I got a little teary-eyed too.
Good.
Yeah. I do. You said the word suicide and my eyes just watered up. And how are your parents proud of you?
I would like to think so. I can only hope. But yes, I'm blessed to have been given those parents, and they're very supportive, and they encourage me every step of the way.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for coming on our show. We enjoyed our time today.
Braeden, Sorbo, Embrace Masculinity.
Yes.
Yes, it sounds like a great book. I know you had one, but somebody
I had one copy left.
Took it from you.
And it got shipped this morning without my knowledge.
Is it on Kindle by any chance?
Not yet. I'm working on getting the Kindle published.
Wonderful. Yeah.
But I'll be sure to get you guys.
Yeah, I can't wait to read it. Maybe I can get a little more masculine
You're
as a result.
Masculine already.
I know. Yeah. Maybe I can contribute a review.
That would love it.
Yeah. Thank you, Braeden.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.